Yeah, pour it up, let the bourbon speak. Call me old-fashioned, we bringing that heat. 100 proof, sipping flavor on blast. Dabbling with the rear view, raise your glass. Bourbon hunting for unicorns, that's the chase. High ride heat, put a smile on my face. Respect to the OGs, yeah, they set the tone. Tucks, Mr. Lopez, I rock, there it gone. Notes hit strong, old key smooth ride. I'll see you on the other side.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to Call Me Old Fashioned. Happy Halloween. Hopefully, you didn't have too much candy and you're ready to sit back, have a drink. For me, we're doing a little old fashioned tonight. We're gonna switch it up. Normally, we have a pour first, kind of warm into it, but I'm feeling froggy. You know what I mean? Got done. Where's my ice? Oh, there it is. Got done trick or treating. Bro, I'm beat. Took it out of me. My back hurt. My neck hurt. My feet hurt. But now it's time to kind of unwind with a little cocktail, if you will. So, welcome to the stream. Happy Friday. If you haven't already, drop a like on the stream. Subscribe if you are new. Bro, what are we doing? I was going to say, this isn't new. It's just stuck on there. I fucked up. There we go. Buto says, call me old fashioned, must be eating candy. I had a couple Reese's, all right? But I did it proper. I put the Reese's in the freezer, got them nice and cold. You know what I mean? Did it proper. I didn't go crazy with the candy, though. He says, where's Cat? I have no idea. Wow, why, bro. I wasn't going to be late this time. I was sitting here ready. And then I realized my other camera wasn't plugged in. I go, oh, fuck. So, Christian says, cheers, call me old fashioned. Christian, welcome to the stream, baby. Happy Friday. Buto said, feeling froggy. Hey, been a long day. You know what I mean? If I say some things wrong, it is what it is. For this old fashioned, I'm going to go with the New Rift 8-year. I don't know why. I saw it. I was like, that sounds good. And it is. It's really good in an old fashioned. A little pricey to be making old fashions with, but I'm here for it. It says, good call, good call. Oh, the freezer? It's always good call with the little Reese's in the freezer. I broke the glass I normally make old fashions in. I don't remember the name of it. It's a fancy tall glass or whatever. Automatics says, whiskey only? Or do you do scotch as well? So, I'm not opposed to scotch, but I haven't had any that I like. So, but I haven't had many, right? I guess, I know my way around bourbon, but I'm like a fresh baby deer when it comes to scotch. But I kind of, I think from what I hear from people and all the stuff they've tried, I don't even know if that kind of fits with what I would personally want. I like things that are a little bit sweeter. I like the dessert style bourbon, so I hear scotch doesn't really have that same, palate. But I kind of like a little bit of everything. I also used to not like rye too, but you can bet your ass that's basically what all I drink off stream is rye. That's not completely true, but I drink a lot of rye off stream. Christian says, what do you think about Four Roses going up for sale? I don't know. Part of me goes, hey, that could be good because maybe they start doing some crazy shit. Part of me goes, that could be bad because I don't know enough about what could happen in a sale, right? Like, I'm kind of ignorant to that kind of stuff. Like, if somebody goes and buys it and starts tweaking the mash bills or starts tweaking what's already good, Four Roses is solid in general. If somebody starts fucking with it, I'd be concerned because I really like Four Roses. Otto says, fresh baby deer. And I'm the same way, but with whiskeys as you with scotch. See, everybody got their thing they like. Recommend me a good starter scotch. It should be the other way around, but you know what I mean? But you're here. Recommend it to me. I don't know what the name is. It says, seen the live from Iraq. That's pretty cool. Welcome to the stream. Happy Friday. I don't know what day it is over there, but it's Halloween right now. Scotch isn't sweet. I know that. It's what I hear. I've had a handful, and they're not really that. I'm buying cheap Scotch when I do it. I know it's different, but so is rye, right? And if you guys go back to the beginning of this channel, I hated rye, wasn't a fan. I even said I was like, I'm never gonna drink it again. But I drink rye all the time now, so yeah, I'd never say never, but I think I need to kind of get into some like good beginner scotches to really kind of dip my toes in. Winnie. Okay. Highland a little more lighter and floral. Okay. I like. See, this is why I don't get scotch. I can't pronounce half that shit, bro. I'm dyslexic as hell. 16, but that's me. I reap on it. Probably misspelled. Yeah, bro, if you misspelled it, I can't. There's no way I'm gonna read it. You know what I mean? I barely can read it as this. I can read. Don't get me wrong. When it gets late, though, my dyslexic shit kicks into high gear. White Rice says, Jesus loves you. Appreciate it. Butu says, you have to develop a taste for it. Heavy on the peat scotch. Saline is good. So I will say, like, pre-wedding, when I went on like this crazy like weight loss thing, right? I wasn't like massive or nothing, but I wanted to lose some weight. I stopped drinking soda, and I needed something to replace it. And I went with like seltzer water, right? And everybody around me hates seltzer water. At first, I wasn't that big of a fan, but I like ended up loving seltzer water, and I hated soda. And that's when I mainly stopped drinking soda. I kind of drink soda a little bit every once in a while, but it's only in cocktails. But like, I love seltzer water now. So like, you definitely, like, if you want to like something, you can like it if you just kind of build a tolerance and your palate. What's up with the camera, bro? It's like my first day. It's my big day. There it goes. It's chill at 5 a.m. Saturday morning. I was scrolling and your live just popped up. That's pretty cool. I just went live about 7 minutes ago. So normally we go lives a little bit earlier, 9:45-ish p.m. Eastern time, because we're in Florida. Automatic says, if you Google what I wrote, it'll get it. I get it. Yeah, just a little copy and paste. I'll get there eventually. I might have put a little bit too much simple syrup in this. I like using the Woodfords because it's just easy. It's got the bitters and everything kind of combined. But I like this a lot. It's worth the money for sure. But sometimes, I don't know, maybe I gotta start shaking it again. But sometimes, like, if it sits there for a little while and I go back to it, sometimes it feels a little bit more sweeter. Pops Pours. Hey, you switched your name. He says, hey, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Bro, I'm dying. I know your name. I just can't remember it because it's not there now. Jerry. It's Jerry. Jerry, welcome to the stream, baby. Anyways, what are you guys sipping on tonight? Donnie, YouTube says, why is the top separated from the bottom? Because I have two cameras. And I like it like that. That way you get a little close-up of the bottle. I didn't do any fancy setup tonight or nothing like that. I said I was going to go live. I don't like to say that and not go live, so I don't expect this to be a super long stream. But I wanted to have a little drink with you boys, you know? So Donnie, if you like the split screen, you gotta, you know what I mean? That's what we're here for. I like to give you a little pizzazz. Now, we're about to do a bottle kill real quick. I got this great value, high proof H2O. I like to mix it on the rocks here. I'm gonna use a straw because I'm like that. Sometimes you just gotta do a double bottle kill, you know? At 10 minutes in, we're getting crazy. I laugh at my own stuff, you know. Pop says, "Yeah, that's me. Uncle Nearest single barrel tonight. Found it on clearance for 28. I'm okay. I like that. I haven't had any of the Uncle Nearest stuff. I think I tried it from somebody once, but I really haven't dove too far into them. He's like, "Oh, I did spell it right." Hey, I didn't say you didn't. I just said I can't read because I'm kid show. Um, anyways, but what are you guys sipping on tonight? You got Uncle Nearest for Jerry over here. What's the proof on that single barrel? Just curious. But what is everybody else sipping on? For me, right now, we're going to start off with a little New Rift 8-year, 100 proof, bottle and bond. Mash bill, if you're curious. I like the mash bill on this one. It's 65% corn, 30% rye, and 5% malted barley. I think that's a pretty good mash bill in my opinion. It's like, no, I was just surprised I did. Hey, we impress ourselves every once in a while. I am going to finish off the Stag tonight. So I've been tearing through some Buffalo Trace, right? That's not normal for me. But the Stag is down to the last pour. We finished off the Sazerac Rye 100 proof bottle. That one has been dusted off, if you will. We made a couple of whiskey gingers, and it's gone. We finished something else too, I believe, right? Or at least we're close. The Stag's almost gone. There's something else that's like in here on its last leg too. I just can't remember what it is. Oh, the Weller's almost gone too. I'm almost out of Buffalo Trace stuff in general. I don't necessarily hunt that stuff, so I don't really stock up. But the E.H. Taylor's gone. The Eagle Rare, luckily, maybe half. That one's got to go soon too. A Murphy Stout here in Ireland. Automatic. You in Ireland? Christian says, "Hit the likes, you degenerates." I think that's what we are. Pop says, I was floored, but it beat Jack Daniel's single barrel proof in a blind. It's 125 proof. It's not worth a 90 tag, but at 28, bought a few. That's cool. I don't know if it would beat Jack for me in a blind because I love the Jack, but hell yeah. A 125 proof for 28 bucks is a great deal. OG says, because it's Halloween, I yelled to my lady, "Oh my God, a werewolf. It's a werewolf." And when she turned, I showed her a full moon. Oh, that's great, bro. I wish I would have read that faster. Ireland. That's pretty cool. I'd love to go to Ireland. I am a little Irish myself. Bro, this camera's... So I dropped it, right? One day, slammed it on the ground, and ever since then, the autofocus has been going crazy. Kev says, where do you sell older sealed bottles? I guess you could do it on unicorn auctions. You'd have to send it to them because they got to verify it and stuff like that, but then they can auction it off and you can set like a floor price. I would just check that out first. It's the only place I think I would know. And you should look up Addicto. Kev says, I inherited a bunch of old whiskey, but I don't drink. Well, aren't you lucky? What kind of old bottles did you get? Just out of curiosity. If you got a bunch, that probably like unicorn auctions would be able to take care of all of that for you because you ship it to them basically, and then they'll kind of tell you which ones you have. If you don't know what they are for some reason, you kind of pick the floor that you want to be at. They'll give you a range. They'll take a percentage, but they sell it for you. They ship it to the people, and you just get your cash. Let's do the pour. Oh, that camera is a little tilted over there. All right, let's pour up the Stag. So this one that we're gonna finish off here is the Stag 24C, 128.9 proof. Kev says unicorn. I looked them up. Yeah, man. I've bought from them a few times. You definitely end up paying a little bit more than you want. Shipping kind of sucks, but they do have stuff there. That's how I was able to get the Still Austin Tanager. I had to have one, so I knew I was going to pay a little bit more. I actually got it for a decent price, in my opinion, but you know, take that for what you will. OG says, I got a puppy because I quit drinking, but now at least I still have a little liquor around the house. What the fuck? There used to be a guy that came in the chat all the time, and he would tell a joke. It's always the same. He'd be like, yo. I would say, yo. He'd be like, yo, mama. Something like that. I can't remember. It's been a while since he's been here. Otto says, a whiskey finished in tequila cask. That's not me. Like some people must love that stuff. I personally don't want my whiskey tasting like tequila. I don't mind my tequila tasting like whiskey, but I'm okay. What I do like is gin aged in whiskey barrels or bourbon barrels. That stuff's pretty good. Ireland is a must visit. The pubs are like people's houses. I felt right at home. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'd love to go, but I mean, I don't know if that's in the cards for me. Boney in the chat says, Happy Halloweeny. Happy Halloween, boys. Did y'all go trick-or-treating, or did y'all just go to the bars? Like, what'd y'all do? I took the kid out. This is his second Halloween now. He was on it tonight. You know what I mean? He was going up. He would say trick-or-treat, but you get it. He just kind of snatched the candy and go. But he had a good time. Stayed up way past his bedtime, hence why we're going live a little later. But it was fun. Also, Iceland. Air runs crazy. Deals to Dublin. Friends came for $350 round trip from Denver. So come sooner than later. $350 round trip? I don't know if I believe that, to be honest, because that's crazy cheap. Is it like real expensive there or something? Like why would it be like that? So Pop says, I saw a guy's handle today was dick liquor. Tracy Rogers says, Jesus loves you. Thank you. Kristen says, I have a theory. You can age any other spirit in bourbon barrels and it will elevate it, but it's hard to age bourbon and other spirits in other spirits barrels without diminishing it. I have the same theory. Again, I'm sure there's some people that love that stuff. By all means, have at it. It's just not really my thing. Like even like a lot of like whiskey and rum casts, like it's better than tequila for sure, but it's still not like my jam. At least I haven't had any that I have really loved. I'm getting a little bit more into the sherry casks and like the wine finish stuff. Like I'm okay with that to an extent. Like I love the new ripped one, but when you get into like tequila and all the other craziness, like I'm good. OG says I wore a Wednesday shirt to hand out the candy, and then they said I love Wednesday. I told them I would have worn my Friday shirt, but I skipped laundry day. That's good. Automatic says they're just trying to get people to travel more with the airline or a smaller one, mostly in the EU, but have been adding more places in the US. That's pretty good. If it is that cheap, that'd be crazy because I think I paid like almost $1,500 to fly from Florida to Vegas, so I think now, granted, one part of the first leg was in first class. That was for the honeymoon, though. I think that was the last time I flew. What is a gin aged in whiskey barrel to try? That'd be interesting. To be honest, the best one I've had is local to me. I don't have it anymore, do I? Nope. It's from a distillery called Manifest here in Jacksonville, Florida, and they have a. Oh wait, he said whiskey aged in. Oh yeah, no, I was right. Gin aged in whiskey. Um, yeah, they have their Florida gin, which is already a little more like orange citrusy to the gin than most. Paired that in aging it in I believe it was their bourbon barrels. Um, I could be wrong about that, but it just pulled it all together. The wife who doesn't even like whiskey or bourbon, she even enjoyed it. She drank most of it, but it was really good. Gave it a good little kick to it. Pop says, I'm excited they are adding a Norwegian to the Jacksport. New booze cruise. I love Norwegian. That's the only one I cruise on. OG says, I don't like to fly because some people were taught to use a little elbow grease. I don't know if I get that one, but I might have been over my head. Juan says, happy Friday, everybody. Juan, welcome to the stream. AB in the chat says, happy Halloween. What's the scariest whiskey you've tried? Scariest? I don't know. I don't know what would be scary. Malort, I guess, could be scary. The one like I'd be scared to drink again would be the Whistle Pig Alpha Romeo F1 from the Whistle Pig. But it was rye whiskey aged in lychee and oolong tea barrel, whatever. It's just not good. I didn't like it. Not at all. Not for me. A couple people said they love that thing too, and I'm like, I don't want it. It was like the little gimmick of it was aged like a little bit, I think, in G-force in like a wind tunnel. Automatic says, thanks. I'll look for it when I'm there next month. Yeah, I mean, if you come to Jack's, it's a great place to stock up on some stuff like that. Pretty cheap too. Their rye is also pretty good, in my opinion. Juan says, was that the lychee? Yeah, lychee and oolong tea barrel. Whatever. I don't want to pull it out because I don't want people to think I'm going to drink it. Juan said, all right, I read that. Mista says, happy birthday. It's not my birthday, but thanks. It's coming up. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take that as a happy birthday. I appreciate that. Automatic says, worst whiskey you ever had? And the worst whiskey you ever had? I had one called Monkey Shoulder. It was something that was rank. I've never had. I think I've had Monkey Shoulder, but I don't. The Alpha Romeo one that I'm talking about, the Whistle Pig, that one's by far the worst one I've had to me. So that one, worst pour of the year last year for me. On New Year's Eve, I always do a live stream and I kind of go over the best whiskey for the year for me, worst whiskey. I give out a couple awards to a couple things, just to kind of like have some fun with it on New Year's. Juan says, scariest shot I ever had was Everclear. Stopped drinking the rest of the night. So you thought. Pop says, I had Von Payne I used for an infinity fridge for whiskey. Great for Halloween. I didn't think about that. I've seen that around too. I always want to try it, but I don't really want to spend the money on it. OG says, when I used to drink, I always said, whiskey it is. Whiskey is it? Is it? What? Bro, this thing's moving like crazy. When I used to drink, I always said, whiskey is it? When I leaned against the door when I get home. Whisk. Oh, wait. No. I think this computer is a little janky sometimes. I almost just banned Juan on accident. All right, let's just pull this up. Let's do this. Landon says, getting drunk or just drinking? I'm barely even doing either one of them. I mean, I guess we could just say just drinking, but definitely not getting drunk. Not that I've never gotten drunk. I've definitely took it over the line a couple times, but I just like to taste the whiskey. That's all. So we do have the Stag. We're finishing that off. I've had this bottle a while. Almost, I think it's going on almost a year or right under a year. But that one's finally gone. And then we had an old fashioned with the new Rift 8-year. That one's fantastic for old fashions. Juan says, please don't kick me out of here. I wasn't trying to. But the computer for some reason wanted you to go. Guys, if you haven't already, drop a like on the stream. Subscribe if you are new. We are on the road to, we're trying to hit 5,000 before the end of the year, but we'll see. Pop says, think OG is back on the wagon. It's it on the wagon. It's it on the wagon or off the wagon. Bro, you guys fucking with me tonight is crazy. Because I know I'm a little dyslexic. That just is what it is. But when y'all type all crazy, it has me in shambles. Because I'm like, I don't know if I'm reading it wrong or if I'm just going crazy. Otto says, is Manifest local only? No, I'm not sure. I don't know that answer. I know they're newer. So I'm sure they're not like nationwide, but they may have some bottles like at Total Wine around here, or they may have it at a couple of the liquor stores. But the distillery is also kind of fun. It's right downtown, so I mean, I would go check it out if you're in Jax. Boris, welcome back, baby. He says, gentlemen, long time no see, bud. Maybe it's because all the crap I've been talking about AI lately. It could be. Kyle says, I'm here, but late. We're all late, bud. Kyle, welcome to the stream. Happy Friday. Happy Halloween. Hopefully you had some fun. Pop says, sorry, bro. Swipe is a bastard. I could never use swipe. It was never my thing. I could do normal typing. Anything beyond that, like even like the fill words, like, nah, I'll screw it up. He says, cool. Have you had Old Elk? I think so. I don't own any Old Elk, but I think I've tried a couple of their samples. Like when the liquor store is sampling them out, I always try it, but it's never been like wow enough for me to buy them. He's like, I will when I'm there. Yeah, when you come to Jax, I mean, join the Discord. Let me know. I mean, I can swing over to Manifest damn near anytime. It's right down the road from me. But it's cool. It's fun, especially during the holidays. I love their little Christmas setup. So, Kyle, $4.99 from Kyle says, what's happening? Happy Sugared Up the Monsters Day. Appreciate it, Kyle, as always. What's happening? I mean, you're not super late. We've only been live about 28 minutes. We've made an old fashioned with some new Rift. We're doing a bottle. Finish off the Stag because it's just been too long. And we're just kind of hanging out. VTMS said, should we make an AI, or should we make AI make a drink? I mean, I think it could be a good idea. What kind of drink are you thinking now? Like, are you saying like, I'm getting too far in my head now. What are you thinking? So I don't go down the rabbit hole. Automatic says, your Discord the same as your username? Bro, if I only knew. I'll drop a link in a second. I'll pull it up. Unless North Florida's in here. North Florida hasn't been in here in a minute, I don't think. But let me see. Copy. There we go. Ask AI. I should get one of those like AI bots to like monitor the chat and like help me with things. That'd be kind of cool. I just dropped the link for the Discord. If you guys want to join, feel free. Doesn't cost anything. Juan says smoked maple bourbon sour flavor. Rich, smoky, slightly sweet, with a tart citrus kick. Think autumn in a glass. Well, fuck me, that does sound kind of good. Otto says, cool, cool. Pops pours $2. Appreciate it, bud. He says, I'm not rich like Kyle. Happy Halloween, y'all. I think y'all are both rich because, I mean, you know what I mean? $2 is a lot of money to me. Manifest sounds like a nail polish festival. I'm not saying it isn't, but it's a good time. You know what they have? Distilleries typically, they have pours. You can do samples. Manifest is, they're basically a distillery that started off with making like vodka and gin because it's cheaper, quicker. You get the market, start making some money so they can start producing stuff. It's also, they're aging their own bourbon and whiskey, but it's taking time, obviously. They are doing their own rye whiskey, which is pretty good. They have a couple different mash bills. I have the 100% rye mash bill. I'm going to pull it over. I think I might drink that next. But in the meantime, for their bourbon, they're doing like sourcing. And I believe they also sell like seal box stuff in store too. But who was it? It's not MGP. It's something else. I don't remember what it is. But they have that too. They have like a 10-year aged bourbon that they sell. Pretty decent. But what they have is they have like this pour bar, right? Where you can get a flight of 4, obviously. And you can kind of pick which ones you want. And they have all different types of pours behind that thing because they just order or make like specialty stuff just for their flights, right? They had like a white Zinfandel thing. It's the only time I've ever had a white Zinfandel finished whiskey, but it was pretty good. They had a honey finish too. They had a couple other things. But I would definitely suggest if you guys do go to Manifest, get a flight, and then let me know what you try because I can't try them all. Kyle says, not rich, just work too much overtime and use myself given allowance to help fund the call me old fashioned drinking habits. Hey, I'm here. You can come over, you can drink some too if you need it. You know what I mean? Take the edge off. I got enough that I can't drink, but I have been tearing through some bottles. I slowed down on buying some just so that way I can like finish off some of the ones I have. But every time I say that, then something pops up around here. Juan says ingredients: 2-ounce bourbon, something with a little bit of spice. Okay, like Bullet or Woodford's. Woodford's doesn't have the spice. Bullet, rye, 12-year. That's what we're thinking right now in my head. 3/4 ounce. Oh, we said bourbon. Okay, I'm just gonna keep reading. 3/4 ounce fresh lemon juice. 1/2 ounce of maple syrup. Real dark grade preferred. A 1/4 ounce smoked simple syrup. Okay. 2 dashes Angostura bitters. Oh, orange peel. Garnish. I think that was a little backwards. A smoked cinnamon stick. Optional. I mean, it's not optional. That's a must. That's pretty cool. I'm like behind in chat. My bad, boys. Juan says, or a little old fashioned cheers, bud. Welcome to the stream. Juan's and the goes the pro. What are y'all fucking doing to me? The goes the AI recipe. LOL. Didn't do bad job. Sounds good. I mean, it did sound good. Typing though, I can tell a lot of you boys had a lot of adult trick-or-treating going on tonight. Do you guys have that around you? Where adults like pass out jello shots or like shots or you know what I mean? There's a lot of that going on tonight. I didn't even drink any of it. I was a responsible adult. No disrespect, Kyle, just trying to be funny. I think Kyle knows that. Kyle says I'm cracking a new bottle tonight. Take a vote between them. Frey Ranch Uncut Frey. Pop open the Frey. Wait, well, hold on. I jumped it. Have you ever had Frey or have you ever had Weller 12? If the answer is no, go with Frey. La Flame says Rusty Nail is the best drink in my opinion. Okay. Okay, that's pretty cool. Boar says Frey. Pop says Frey. Yeah, see? Kyle says Pops, I know. LOL, happy Halloween. My guy. I did the Whiskey Trail. Buffalo Trace is the GOAT. La Flame says. I'm probably like one of the few bourbon YouTube channels that has not done the Kentucky Trail. Neither? Go with Frey. All day, go with Frey. I'm sure the Weller will be good, but that Frey's going to hit. Juan says, I haven't had a drink tonight. LOL. I just always mess up my messages. So normally everybody is not that bad at their messages, but tonight, you guys have, honestly, I think you guys do it on purpose half the time, just trying to see if I'll say something stupid. All right, there goes the Staggy Stag. I kind of wanted some Frey too. A little Frey Ranch. Let's do that. Drink rum? I would. I'm more of a whiskey and a bourbon guy, right? I like a little rye whiskey too. Rum would be like, if somebody else has it, I'll take some. I'm here for it. But I don't buy my own rum, if that makes sense. Oh, and you guys thought you were going to get away from the B-roll tonight. Who would have thought? Had it dialed up still. Let's put the manifest to the side because the Frey just sounds better. That, and I like that in a whiskey ginger, and I'm running out. Juan says, rest in peace to the Stag. You know, it did its job. I will say I drank more of that Stag than I would like to in whiskey and Coke. It's really good in whiskey Coke. You know what I mean? I don't suggest that's the way you drink that bottle. It's definitely better neat or even on ice, to be honest. But I drank that thing every which way. I had it in old fashions. I had it in whiskey and Cokes, neat, on the rocks, all of it. But Kyle says, I take it back. It's the Frey cast, very small batch selection, but it's open now. Okay. Let us know what you think. I want to know. iRock says, yo, what's up, team? iRock, welcome back, baby. It's been a minute. You've been missing in action. Hopefully you're doing all right. Juan says, makes me want to pour a Stag and Coke now. Do a little one. Just live vicariously with me. Just get a little taste going. If you have a cherry Coke, game changer though. Game changer. You know what I really like? Oddly enough, I like regular Buffalo Trace, a little cherry Coke. I do, any soda that I mention on this channel, by the way, is always zero sugar. I'm not talking about the sugar ones. Now I have a short on this channel where I use like the Coca-Cola that says it's from Mexico, or Mexican Coke, or whatever they called it. People lose their mind about that. But typically what I'm drinking is like Coke Zero or something like that with like no calories, no sugar shit. iRock says, bro, I'm just trying to pay these bills. I feel that, bro. It's hard out there right now. The Flame says, is it worth the money to try a shot of Pappy Van Winkle? Probably not. I'm not saying it's not good, but I can't imagine what you would pay for a pour of it. I don't think I would do it, so I would never say, yeah, it's worth it. So, but you never know. Pop says, I wouldn't recommend shooting it, but you do you. Right? iRock says, don't waste Stag like that. Come on, man. What do you mean? The Stag's gone. The Stag's finished off. Automatic says, sweet. Found you on Discord. Finally. Added it. We'll hit you up when in the area. Do it to it, bud. Do it to it. I'll be here. I'm not going nowhere for the holidays. I'll be at home. One of the expensive years. You know, if you just got money like that, I mean, by all means. Personally, I don't... There's a lot of pours that I think's worth it to go try. right? Especially for the money. It really depends on where you're at and how much they're charging. But a lot of these places are charging like $500 and some crazy shit like that. Like it's not worth $500 for a, because you're gonna get this much. You know what I mean? Unless you just got it like that. I don't know. Fuck, Jesus Christ. Just buy 5 other bottles. Juan says, I don't have a cherry Coke, but would putting in a little cherry syrup in there work? I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? That's getting into like too fancy. That, and you never know. You may put too much cherry versus what should have been in there. Just go regular Coke, right? Nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? iRock says, Wild Cherry Pepsi Zero is where it's at. I like Pepsi more, but I personally like, when I do whiskey and Coke, I want it to be Coke, not Pepsi. It's weird. It's a weird thing I have going here. Kyle says, Dan, that shit's good. 126 proof? What's mine? I have a 123.88 proof. I have batch 14, but I just have the farm strength. I like saying that like that. Ark says, the fray you have is amazing. My dude from Vegas is sending me one. Oh, shit. Okay. Not me, but I think he's talking to Kyle. Juan says, not waste if it tastes good. The Flame says, 1 bourbon, 1 scotch, 1 beer. 1 opportunity. Bum, 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 bum. My bad. Otto says, what's the whiskey at the top of your bucket list? I don't know. So, I don't necessarily have a bucket list because I try not to like put any bottle on like a pedestal, because a lot of times when I do that, it just doesn't live up. I hype it up too much in my head. So I just kind of like to live freely. But some bottles that I would really like would be I really want an Eagle Rare 17. That's one that's definitely on my list. Like if I can find one at a really good price, like I would definitely buy it, even though it's going to be a little bit more than I want to spend. A lot of bottles that are like my bucket list, like they don't exist yet, right? Because I think beyond what's on the market. Like I'd love like a cask strength Woodford's Double Oak. You know what I mean? Like I'd love to have one that's like 130 proof of just Woodford's Double Oak. I'm not asking for much. I'd like to see a little bit more from Still Austin. Like I know they have some like really small batch limited stuff. I haven't had those, but I'd like to get like they have a Double Oak. I'm a big fan of Double Oaks if you can't tell. Or some of their more creative stuff. What else? I don't know. A what 17? Sorry, didn't catch that. Eagle Rare 17. What else is on my list here? I'm still looking for a Jack 12 and Jack 14. That's a given, though. Yeah, I don't know. The Flame says, why do people say Crown Royal doesn't upset their stomachs or give... Why do people say Crown Royal doesn't upset their stomach or give them heartburn? Why would it, though? Like, if you get heartburn or something like that from whiskey, that's probably just a you thing. I don't know what the Crown Royal part really has to do. I'm confused at that comment. Kyle says, dang, y'all killing me. I don't drink soda. Haven't since 2018. I didn't drink soda for like years. Since 2021, probably until about this year. I was just strictly like, I didn't even like it. There's no reason. I just didn't want it. I wanted to cut out that part out of my diet to kind of help, you know? But I've gotten into a little bit of a cocktail thing, just like quick and easy. So like a whiskey Coke isn't bad. You know what I mean? A little whiskey ginger as well. So that's as far as I go with the soda stuff, though. Pop says, because they eat pizza and wings and blame it on the whiskey. Yeah, that's true. Iraq says, I can't do Crown anymore. Used to be my go-to. Crown Royal, I think, was like everybody's like drink when they were younger, in my opinion. I just feel like everybody has a story with Crown Royal. I don't drink Crown Royal anymore. Just I wouldn't even know where to begin with choosing that over something on in here. Kaz says that Crown chocolate is good. Plus, I got my grandma hooked on. The grandma, no. The I haven't had the Crown chocolate. I don't think that's gonna be one that I test, but you never know. Bob says, "Yeah, that I need that for the Jack 14." I agree. I'm not picky though. Like I'll take a 12 first. I'll wait my time. You know what I mean? I have the 10. The 10's fantastic, but I'd like a little bit extra proof. I'd love a 14 too. I'd like that new Tanyard Hill Rye or whatever they're calling it now that just got released. So I feel like if I got that, I'm going to pay too much. And I'm going to strictly drink that in whiskey and gingers. Like everybody hates. I feel like it's going to be fantastic in a whiskey ginger. The Flame says, I've had multiple people say Crown doesn't give them a hangover or upset stomach the next day. Maybe the water is cleaner in Canada. I don't know. I don't know if the water's cleaner or not. But Crown Royal definitely gives you a hangover. It's really sweet. So I'm going to say, yeah. Maybe they're not drinking enough of it compared to their tolerance. I don't know. But I can tell you I've had many, many hangovers from the age 21 to the age 22 on Crown Royal. Maybe a little younger. Kyle says, I saw the Penelope Estates. Don't remember which one. Should I have picked it up? I guess it would depend on which one. But I haven't had any of them, so I can't really speak on that. Tux, in the Discord, he loves Penelope. So he would always say yes. I'm kind of picky on the Penelope. I have a handful of them nowadays, but the one I drink the most, and probably my favorite one so far, is the creme brulee one. So you never know. Automatic says 404 for that 17 year here. Buffalo Trace Eagle Rare 17, correct? Yeah. 404? Is the dollar the same amount over there? Am I crazy? I don't know if, like, maybe because imports. Nah, I don't know. Like, Eagle Rare 10 year is like 40. I mean, 404. I guess it could be. Do you got one at like a liquor store near you or something? It's 400, right? I'm crazy. I'm tripping. I don't know. Somebody help me here. Pop says we can talk about the beard. Can't we talk about the beard product? I got a leave-in conditioner with light hold. It smells like whiskey and sandalwood. I like that. But the stash smells like bourbon no matter what I do. I don't know. I use all different types of stuff. I use the Cremo. I think that's how you pronounce it. The spice and amber, and the bourbon and vanilla. I use both those beard oils. Leave-in conditioner, not my thing. I have a mask I'll use for it. My beard's looking rough tonight, so don't let me sit out here and be like, look at my beard. I also haven't trimmed this thing since my car wreck. So like it's getting a little thin in some areas. It needs to be cleaned. You know what I mean? But like look how far it goes. You know what I mean? Like it's going. Kyle says stand by for late night beard zoom. Kyle says I like their cheap weeded. Not a fan of the Rio, but bought it and haven't touched it since opening. I do like their weeded. I like it because it's cheap and it's affordable and pretty easy to find. I have the Havana. I have the Rio. I really don't touch the Havana much. I'll touch the Rio every once in a while, like every once in a blue moon. But I'd say the one that I drink the most besides that is going to be the barrel strength or like the premix, you know. But I have the rose finish, the toasted Rio Havana weeded. I have the cigar blend. I don't like the cigar blend too much. I have the Valencia, and then I have the creme brulee regular architect. I just say it's 404 USD. That's expensive or cheap. I don't know for what it is. I mean, um, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's secondary price, but like really low secondary price. So 404 really would be buyable. So yeah, I don't know. I guess it depends on which year too, but I imagine $404 is gonna be good enough for most people that see it to buy it. That's still a lot of money. This Freight Ranch, it's fantastic. I love the mash bill on this too. It's a little different than you see. 66.6% dent corn, 10% winter wheat, 11.4% winter rye. What makes it winter? You know what I mean? These are the questions I have. 12% two-row barley malted on site. Juan says a Stag and Coke is great. That's what I mean, bro. It's got enough oomph from the proof and the Stag flavors to really like send it home. But the Coke makes it feel like you got like a mixed drink, little razzle dazzle, especially if you put enough to have a little carbonation in there. It's a good time. How far are you away from Fort Myers? Bro, I'm drawing a blank. I haven't left the home in what feels like forever. Let's take a gander. What's that, by Tampa? Oh, lower than Tampa. Oh shit. Probably about about 4 hours. I'm in Jacksonville, so I'm like right on the border of Jacksonville and St. Augustine. Which way would it take me? Yeah, I'm 4 hours and 40 minutes. And it has me taking I-4. Fuck. Hate I-4. Guys, if you're just now tuning in, drop a like on the stream. All you gotta do is hold the screen, it pops up, you tap the little thumbs up, you're good to go. If you're new, I haven't subscribed, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Juan says, if I finish all my Stag like this, I'm gonna blame you, call me old fashioned. I mean, what sucks is like every time you do it, you're like, I really shouldn't drink it like this because I know it's gonna be worth it in drinking it neat. But sometimes you just keep throwing a little dash in there. You know what I mean? Just can't help it. The next thing you know, the bottle's gone. You're doing a bottle kill on a live stream. It is what it is. Replaceable, but you know, bottles that are ranging $200, a little tough to do that with. Pop says my Glen is empty and the Grands want SeaWorld in the AM. Bonus is getting to hunt my favorite Orlando spots. Oh, I thought you were like asking to drink or to go to SeaWorld. I'm like, I think SeaWorld might be the move. But Pops, appreciate you stopping by. Have fun at SeaWorld. Let us know what you find in Orlando, and I will see you on the other side. Kyle says, interesting. I may have to bring some goodies next time. I'm headed down to visit the family. Good old Texas care package. You know what I mean? Just swing by Still Austin, rob them, take everything. You know what I mean? Just that's all I'm asking for. If I lived in Texas, I would live 2 minutes from. Oh no, La Flame. Just subscribe, La Flame. Welcome to the family. If I lived in Texas, I would live right next to the Still Austin Distillery for sure. I thought about it. They have a lot of great things that you can only get at the distillery. That part is just a little upsetting because I always see it and I'm like, oh, like what they just released? Our Monster Mash. I got in, could have bought one, but I'm like, I can't go to Texas and pick it up. Would have loved to have it though. But it's a great day. Let's see, where are we at? We're at 3864 for subscribers. We're climbing. We're climbing. That's too much city for me. I like the city, but I also like would love to find a spot where it's like a place in the city in the middle of nowhere, if that makes sense. Still, Austin is 5 hours away from you. See, that's a 10-hour turnaround. That's too far. You got to get closer. You know what I mean? If you're closer, you don't have to worry about all that. So let's do one more pour. What are we thinking? What should we pour up? You know what I mean? I got some options here. We could. I've been eyeballing the little book tonight. I'm saying we could probably pour that, or something you guys would prefer. Otto says it's 3:30 a.m. here. I better head out too. Love the stream, subscribe, and liked. Peace, man. Automatic. Appreciate you stopping by. Welcome to the family. I usually go live every Friday around 9:45 p.m. Eastern time. I don't know what time that is for you, but make sure you turn the bell on so you get notified when we go live. Kyle says if I had a choice, I'd be living on a boat. I mean, you can do that in Florida. Can you do that in Texas? I don't know. What should we drink? I started doing a little wild turkey last night. I was watching the Dolphin game. I was like, oh my god. I was like, just give me something. Let's just put me on my misery here. A Dolphin fan, obviously. You know what? Pour the little book because I won't ever spend the money to buy it. Okay, I'm here for it. Let's get a new Glen. I also have a Manifest Glen. LaFlame says Knoxville, Tennessee has a lot of whiskey distilleries. I'm sure it does. I've been to Tennessee quite a bit, but I usually go to like Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, like every basic person in the world during the holidays. It's fun, but you know what I mean. So I went to Sugarlands and like the old smoky places. Bought an ungodly amount of moonshine. But don't worry, I got a cooler with it. You know what I mean? I was one of those. Pop open some rare character. Okay, maybe next. My bad, I missed that. I drink the rare character stuff quite often, actually. Like I don't drink lots of it each time, but like you can even see. I don't know if you can see. Like the whiskey one's almost gone. The rye, I've been holding on to the rye because I want to compare the rye with a couple of the other ones, and eventually I'm going to get them. I don't know if because I probably won't buy the whiskey again. I'll probably buy a bourbon next time, but I'll definitely buy the rye. So this one gets a little bit better too, right? Again, just to give everybody the rundown on this one while we chat about it. Oh, wrong one. There we go. So this one is where is it? Oh, there it is. It's a blend of 8-year Kentucky straight rye whiskey, 11-year, 7-year, 7-year, and 8-year Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. This is the little book, None for Granted. I believe it's chapter 9, right? Yeah, chapter 9, None for Granted. Recipe number 12. It's good. But I also hear that this one is probably like not the least liked, but just lower tier than the other ones. Mainly because this one just gives you a lot of like really like just basic bourbon notes, vanilla, caramel, cinnamon, stuff like that. But each one of those notes in general through the whiskey is really good. It just doesn't give you a wow factor, right? And the proof on this one is 121.8 proof. It's good. I like it. Not mad at it. It's definitely not worth the amount I paid. LaFlame says they don't give as many free tastings in Gatlinburg anymore. Some people ruined it for everyone. I was probably one of those people that ruined it, to be honest. Like, I went one day. I went to Sugarlands twice. I went to Old Smokies 3 times because there's 2 on the strip. So I went when we went down. I hit Old Smokies, Sugarlands, Old Smokies. Went back to Sugarlands. Went back to Old Smokies. Yeah, or whatever it is. And then we also hit a winery one, a little wine sampling. That's what did it for me. Because the wine samples were like full glasses, hardcore. I was tore up. That was like our first day there too. We were like, yeah, let's do it. We treated it like we were in Vegas. Vegas and snow. I also, the last time I went was like, well, technically the last time I went was 2022, or right before the wedding. But I went in 2021. That's what I'm talking about. Ryan Parks has just popped in, but would want. Hold on, I gotta make this bigger. Just popped in, but what would you recommend for someone for something not spicy? The last few bourbons I've had have been super spicy. Look for something different. I'm newish to bourbon / whiskey. So not spicy. Like, do you mean like it burns too much, or like it's not sweet enough and it has too much like pepper cinnamon vibes? To be honest, let me pull this one up real quick. Let's see. Da, 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 da.
Compliments of the chef.
Oh shit! There we go. So spicy notes. So here is best beginner. I think I picked 5 or 6 best bourbon for beginners. But for spicy notes itself, then you want to try and gravitate towards more like sweeter. So I would say like Woodford's is a little bit more on the sweeter side. Sweeter. I'm like drawing a blank right now. I mean, Penelope's not spicy. It's just MGP. But you want to look for something with low rye mash bill, typically. I'd say Russell's has a little bit of spice, so maybe not Russell's. Wild Turkey's about in the same boat. Honestly, like the Buffalo Trace lineup is going to be really up your alley. They're more sweet than spicy. Buffalo Trace itself it's going to be great for that. Penelope Architect is going to be the Penelope I would recommend. I would probably say Heaven Hill. Heaven Hill has a little cinnamon on it, but it's not like heavily spiced. Redwood Empire Pipe Dream, just the white label. It's 90 proof. My brother likes that. He's not a fan of spice. So not as cinnamony. Old Forester 1910. That's a double oak. I have so much shit in here. This might not be the best recommendation, but this is super sweet. The Short Barrel Bee's Knees. This one's a little higher proof. This is definitely not like the best for beginners, but if you like honey, definitely maybe dabble into something like that. No. Bullet. I think think Bullet's fairly sweet. Juan says Makers is very sweet. A lot of their releases are easy drinkers, even with the higher proof stuff. I don't even remember the last time I drank regular Makers. All the ones I have, they're. I mean, I have the Generations of Proof, so I don't think that's a good example. Ooh, you know what would be good? A little pricey, but it's always fun. Try a little Japanese whiskey, Hibiki. This one is 86 proof. It's from Suntory. It is light citrus, a little floral, really easy to sip on, but it's different from like just bourbon and whiskey itself, just because it's one of the more unique things on my shelf. The only downside is it's only 86 proof. So, but I like this one a lot. Ben Holiday, that's a good option for Ryan. Ben Holiday soft red wheat. I think that one, it may have like a little touch of spice, but it's nowhere near, the level. It's more like soft sweet to me. Ryan says I have OESK Four Roses. I don't know. It seems a little spicy as fuck. Four Roses OESK. Yeah, Four Roses has some spice to it. I like the spice though, so I guess that's kind of hard for me to say that, but Four Roses definitely has some spice to it. Let's think basicer. I've gotten rid of so much shit that I'm like, I mean, if you can find it, the Jack Daniel's single barrel, the Heritage barrel, those are not spicy. He's like, gotcha, appreciate it. Bro, I'm over here dying. I'm like, I don't like the recommendations I did are good, but like, I feel like there's a perfect answer in here somewhere. I just can't find it. I'm just new to it all. Maybe I gotta get my hair on my chest. Wouldn't say that. I mean, I was the same way to begin with. I only wanted like super desserty, sweet bourbons. And I typically like to stay around 90 proof to begin with. I quickly became very much like a proof whore. I like the higher proof stuff now. But I still like the dessert stuff. Old Forester, you know what I want to drink? Where is it? There she is. Old Forester 1924. I'm drinking that next. I haven't had that in a minute. That one is like dessert in a glass. Pricey. Yeah, but I did make some like beginner stuff, so like check that stuff out. I think that would help. That would be stuff that would have helped me when I was first starting out, so that's why I made it. Kyle says, Ryan, you located in Texas? Come over, have a pour or 20. That's what you need. You need to get into a little bourbon group where they do like a bottle sharing, where you can just go and taste everything and just really kind of have some fun with it. 1924.
Yeah, pour it up, let the bourbon speak. Call me old fashioned, we bringing that heat. 100 proof, sipping flavor on blast. Dabbling with the rear view, raise your glass.
Few people in the stream and in the Discord that are in Colorado, just not in here tonight, I believe. All right, I said one more, so but now this will be the last one. Kyle says, It's only like 9 hours, LOL. I'll be going to Colorado Springs soon too. Hopefully. I said that last year too, and I didn't, but I was supposed to. I just realized I have not tipped my bottles upside down in like 2 weeks. You know what I realized too? Kyle says, I've been looking for another, can't find it, been milking mine so bad. I used to do this thing where if I really liked the bottle, I would just try to savor it and I'd hold on to it and hold on to it. And what I kind of realized as well, like if you get, like me, I could get a year with a bottle for sure. But when you go back to it a year later, wasn't necessarily exactly how you remember it. So my opinion really has kind of changed. Like if you like a bottle, just drink the shit out of it and really just enjoy it for what it is. And then you can go find another. And that means when you find it, it'll be just that much better that you found another one. This one's got more ethanol on it than I remember. It's only 100 proof. Huh. Still got that dessert, sweet, cinnamon, little chocolate. Still tastes like I remember. It's almost like chocolate brownies. You know what I mean? Like this thing is fantastic. Like chocolate cinnamon roll. That's a good way to put this one. Ryan, I bet you'd like this one. I don't know what people pay for this anymore. I found this luckily for MSRP one time, especially when it was like going crazy in the price. I don't know what it goes for now. I don't even know if it's still available. See, another bottle. A savor in it for a while because I feel like this one's more wintry vibes. You know, if we're going to drink the purple, we got to switch the purple background, right? Just kind of be on brand here. Really sets the tone when you drink it, you know? Just saying. Just saying. Kyle says, when we get new hoodie designs. So they're coming because I plan to release those right before Black Friday. So, but they're coming. I have a couple things. They're not all going to be holiday themes, but there's going to be one kind of Christmassy vibe. But I have a couple other designs. So I do all the designing stuff myself. I think that's fun. But, you know, they're coming. They're coming. Definitely hoodies because I need more hoodies myself. So I did drop the link to the Discord if anybody wants to join. Feel free. It's been kind of a little slow in there lately, but you know, when it ramps up, it ramps up. I said, damn it, take my money already. What kind of hoodie do you want, Kyle? You want like an only pours? Been working on something for that. I like the Glen design one with the blueprint of the Glen. I like that one a lot. Let's see. Let's do. I keep saying one more. That cork's a little dry. Juan says, call me old fashioned. What's been your favorite recent purchase? Guys, by far, I don't know what it is. Jack Daniels single barrel proof rye. I literally went through the whole bottle, bought another one. I was like, hey, look, I bought one. I literally did the stream like not even a month ago, and it's been gone. It's been gone for weeks. So that bottle's been just hitting all the right places. Besides that, though, what did I buy recently? I do like the Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Heritage. That one won that blind too from last week, so I was highly impressed that it won. I still think my palate might have been a little off because somehow Jim Beam beat out some crazy things, but whatever. That and where is it? Yeah, Jack Daniel's Heritage and the Bardstown. The Bardstown Discovery Series Double Barrel. I like this too. I don't know if I necessarily recommend it though. Like I recommend it, but it's so expensive for what it is that I don't know if people should really go buy it. You know what I mean? Like Kyle says, fuck yeah, only pours with a dad on a stripper pole. I do have some dad stuff too coming. Obviously, if you guys don't know, like all of the hats I wear are, I haven't really worn my hat straight in a while. I wear dad gang hats. It's not mine. Oh, my mic's all turned all around now. Here, back. There's a link in the description for all the dad gang stuff. I'm more of like affiliated with them. So like I bought all their stuff first. Then they said, hey, like here, you can have your own code. There's like a discount code or discount link thing in there. It's the only hats I really wear. So, but they're cool. Not mine though, but they're cool. Juan says, is that a toasted barrel? The Jack Daniels is a toasted barrel. The Bardstown is a double oak. I do think it's aged in a toasted barrel, I think. I don't know. Double barrel. It's like a double oak, in my opinion. It tastes like a double oak. It drinks like a double oak. The proof is decent. It's just like the price is like $150. You know what I mean? So it's definitely a hefty price. But if you're a Bardstown fan or you like double oaks and you're willing to spend that kind of money, like it's a good option. It's just pricey as all can be. So there's some other ones I probably could recommend over that. Like the Jack Daniel's Heritage is like half the price, if you can find it. I still would probably take, a Lucky 7, a fresh bottle of Lucky 7 holiday toast over it. So, man, that bottle is fantastic. I'm glad I poured that tonight. That's good. I haven't had this in a while, but I really like this bottle. Juan says the only Discovery Series I have is the 11. I like it better than the 12 and 13. Yeah, I have the Series 13 for the Discovery Series. Or I'm sorry. Yeah, the Discovery Series Double Barrel. But I don't really dive too far into Bardstown because they're all it's more of a pricier brand in general. But I have the rye, I have a single barrel, I have the wheated, and now I have the double barrel. The ones I have are great. They're just a little pricey. You know what I mean? So take it for what you will. But ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, drop a little like on the stream. If you are new, subscribe. I think we're about to go ahead and just wrap this one up. I think High Top was texting me something as soon as I went live. Apparently, if you guys haven't already, High Top Sports is one of my buddies. He does Florida Gator content. He's doing like a watch party tomorrow for the Gators. They do this thing where like they do like $100 donations and then they take a shot. They want me to come and be a ringer and drink for them tomorrow. So I might be over there. I may not be. So just kind of keep your eyes peeled. I'll drop the link in the Discord if I do end up going over there. One says, I only have it because because of a trade. I'm weird, right? So I'm kind of weird with germs and stuff like that. If it was an unopened bottle, I'm always down to trade. High Top says, no Winnie the Pooh outfit. I was just talking about you, bro. When your ears were burning? No, bro. It was hot. It was hot as hell. I was sweating my ass off. It's right there. You know what I mean? I could have thrown it on. You know what I mean? I had it. It's like 100 degrees in that thing. I was cooking. So, that's cute. I'm out. Yeah, I mean, I'm weird with trading and stuff like that. If it was unopened bottles, I'm sure I could probably get down with that. An open bottle? No way. You know what I mean? They'd be trying to poison you. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. We're going to go ahead and end it here. So, if you haven't already, join the Discord. I hang out in there. I chat sometimes. You know, we have some fun. But I only trade unopened bottles, one says. Smart. Some people try to trade open bottles. I see that all the time, and I find that absolutely insane. So maybe if I like knew them, they were like a good friend, I could think about it. But I'm weird with germs, bro. So, but let's go ahead and close it down, ladies and gentlemen. Like, subscribe, do all that jazz. I will see you on the other side. Peace.
Yeah, pour it up, let the bourbon speak. Call me old-fashioned, we bringing that heat. 100 proof, sipping flavor on blast. Dabbling with the rear view, raise your glass. Bourbon hunting for unicorns, that's the chase. High ride heat, put a smile on my face. Respect to the OGs, yeah, they set the tone. Tucks, Mr. Lopez, I rock, there it gone. Notes hit strong, old key smooth ride.